Hey guys, I wanted to thank Val over at Valerie Reese for inviting me to do this collab. This is called Warm Soup on a Cold Day collab, and we just are going to make a bunch of warm soup for you that can last through the week for you, really. And you can put a big pot right out on your balcony to cool off. That's what we do. So this is a beef barley soup. We did have a recipe for a huge pot, so we had to adjust that down. So we were hoping it would taste just as good, and it does. It tastes really good. Corey had this recipe made up, and he helped me make it today. So we will bring you along and show you what we did on making this soup. And also check out the description box for all of the other participants that are doing this collab. There's about 5 of us, I think, and they will all have a warm soup for you as well. So you get through the winter on a bunch of warm soup. So we will talk to you guys in just a little bit. I'll show you the cast of the party here next. Okay, this is the cast of our party here for beef barley soup. Of course, we have barley. We get the quick kind, the pearled quick, but you can use the long cook kind as well. It tastes just as great. Salt, pepper. We have onions. This is the beef better than bouillon that I use. 10 ounces of beef cubes cut up. We put a whole onion in there, a large onion. We put almost this whole bag of carrots in there, about 10 ounces of carrots as well, because this is 16 ounces. So 10 to 12 ounces, depending on how many you like. 10 ounces of potatoes. And then we do 3 stalks of celery, 3 to 4, depending on how much you like again. 1 small bunch of green onions, Worcestershire sauce, tomato paste, the full 6-ounce can, a tablespoon of minced garlic, and a half a tablespoon of the hot sauce. And that is what we use. So for some reason the sound didn't work on this part of the video, but I'm just chopping up my celery, making sure that this chopper works for the celery because it is so stringy, and it worked great. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just chopping all of the celery up. We did chop 1 onion. I'm going to put this through the chopper as well to make it a little bit smaller. The piece is a little bit smaller because we don't like huge pieces. So I'm just going to put this through the chopper as well. And I did chop up 10 ounces of potatoes. That's after I peeled them and everything. I weighed them, and then that came to exactly 10 ounces. So we're putting 10 ounces of potatoes in there, which is the only points so far. And then we'll be adding barley, so that'll be some points too. But that should be the only points in this dish. Right? Just barley and potatoes? And the meat. And the meat. Forgot about the meat. Yeah, so I'll be chopping up the meat a little bit finer because we don't like huge slices of beef stew in there, so we cut it up a little bit extra. Okay, that is 1 onion. This is 1 onion chopped up. And this chopper, if you're wondering, we got this, I don't even know where, because we've had it for many years, probably on Amazon many years ago. But they have different ones now on Amazon, which are better than this one. So if you look up food chopper, you will find one on there. But this one is no longer available. In here so far, Corey added half of this pan full of water, just regular water. We put in the celery and the potatoes that I cut up. And the potatoes are just in cubes like that. And then we also added 1 can of tomato paste, and that is a 6-ounce can of tomato paste. 8 cups of water is what Corey put in here to start with, and I think that's all we're probably going to need with all the veggies in here. It'll probably fill this pan up. And we'll probably add some beef bouillon, like better than beef, better than bouillon, something like that. I never can remember what that is. We have this on high heat right now just to heat up, and then we'll turn it down. So I just added the onions as well in here. I'm going to chop up some carrots now. He is also adding a tablespoon of Louisiana hot sauce. And let me show you the brand that we use. That's the one we use. Just the original. So I have couple cups of the carrots. These are the baby carrots just in the bag. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop them with my really old Pampered Chef chopper. This we had since the early 90s, so it's really old. It does a great job yet though. I know they still have them available, but I don't know anybody that sells Pampered Chef anymore because my niece no longer sells it. So we're just going to add like 3 baby carrots at a time. And I'll show you what I don't want to chop now because it's so noisy on camera, but I'll show you after I chop it. I'll tell you how many times I push the plunger down and then what it looks like after. So it's 5 chops, and that's perfect. That's how we like it in the soup. All right. That is almost a full small bag of carrots, the baby carrots, but not quite all of them because it's a lot of carrots. Okay, this is the beef cubes that we're using. We'll just use half of this and then put the other half in the freezer for our next batch of soup. And this is the size we want it, and this is the size they are. So I'm going to cut those down. Okay, we have 10 ounces of the cubed meat here that's going in. We also added a tablespoon of minced garlic. We have a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, and that's the kind we use, the Heinz. Tablespoon of that went in, and some pepper.
I put half a teaspoon of pepper.
Half a teaspoon of pepper went in. What I did was I took all the leaves off the celery because this is fantastic in soup. I'm going to chop this up nice and fine, and I'm going to add that to the soup as well. The leaves of the celery are going in now. And then we'll just leave this simmer now for at least 3 hours, maybe 4. It's 2:30 right now. So 5:30, 6:30 we'll be eating. Between 5:30 and 6:30, depending on the beef, because we want that beef to cook low and slow for at least 3 hours. All right, now we're gonna do the last thing of the chopping, and that is cutting up a bunch of green onions. This is just a small bunch, and I cleaned them up real good, washed them, and don't throw away the green part because that's the best part. So use that. And also the whites. So we're going to use the whole thing. I just cut these so they're easier to slice and cut off the roots, of course. But you know, you can grow new green peppers by putting those roots. Leave a little bit on the root, put them in some water, and it'll grow you a whole new green pepper, just so you know. And then I'm just going to put it in here because this is our meat tray, but they're going to get cooked, so it doesn't matter. This is all going to go in the pot and cook for 3 hours. This is what this looks like, and we're going to go add this into the soup. All right, this is boiling along nicely. I'm going to actually turn it down a little more. I have it on 3, but this Pampered Chef rock pot it really holds the heat so well. So that is all going in, and everything is in here now that we are planning on putting in here until we add some Better Than Bouillon, the beef, after we taste it. So we're going to just let this slow simmer for about 3 hours. We'll bring it back. This has been on for 2.5 hours now, and it is looking really good, and it tastes really good. It tastes delicious. We did add 2 tablespoons, well, actually more like 2.5, because I used 1 heaping of Better Than Bouillon beef. And then I did add a little salt to it too, because I guess the bouillon isn't that salty, not like the cubes. If you use the cube bouillon, you may not want to add any salt. But this tastes so good. It does. It tastes so good. We're going to add the barley in about a half an hour, and we'll show you what that looks like. Okay, I had to run Nick into town, but Corey had since added the barley about a half an hour ago. It is now 6:30, but it looks fantastic, and boy, when I walked in the house, it smelled so good. So we're going to take a bowl of this and try it out. We'll give you our opinion after we do that. All right, guys, we tried this out. It is so good. The only thing that we would probably change would be the hot sauce, put to a half a tablespoon. It's a little bit on the spicy side for beef barley soup, but if you like a little bit of spice, keep it at a tablespoon. If you don't, put it at a half a tablespoon. If it's at a half a tablespoon, it should not be over spicy for anybody. I think it just adds a really nice flavor having the hot sauce in there. So I would definitely keep a little bit in there, maybe half a tablespoon for sure. And then the salt, I would go for half a teaspoon instead of a full teaspoon. It's not overly salty right now, but we could do for a little less salt. It's delicious like it is, honestly. It's so good. So we will definitely be making it the same way again. We got a total of 9 servings. Corey had 2 servings tonight. I had 1, and then we have 6 left over. Made a huge pot. This is a 2-cup Pyrex bowl, and about 1.5 cups fit in there, and that's about a serving. So this is 3 points per serving, and it is so good. We're so glad we made this. We'll make it again real soon. Welcome back, guys. We really loved this soup. It was so good. It made exactly 9 servings, and as you saw, I think I showed it at the end of the video, made 9 servings, and we just packaged them in little Pyrex bowls, and they stay really well in there. You can throw that right into the freezer and then take it out and thaw it in the microwave. We let it cook for several hours, and that was, I think it was 3 hours total that we let that cook. It was so good that way though. The beef got nice and tender. We only changed up 2 things from what you saw on the video. Next time we'll do 1/2 tablespoon of the Louisiana hot sauce, and then 1/2 teaspoon of salt instead of a full teaspoon. I did do a full teaspoon of it, and it wasn't too salty, but we can get away with less because we like to try and limit our salt as much as we can. The soups are 3 points for each serving. Weight Watcher points. We are making the soup available on our website right now, so you can get a printable version of it with all of the information on there if you need that. And I will post that link down below in the description box as well. Super easy soup to make. You just have to throw everything in there and then walk away and leave it simmer for about 3.5 hours. Chopping up the vegetables was the hardest part, and you saw that I had a chopper, so it was super easy. And then the Pampered Chef chopper made the carrots really easy to chop up. That's all there is to that soup. It's, like I said, easy soup to make. And again, be sure to check out all the participants down in the description box for more warm soup for a cold winter season. Some of you are colder than you like it to be, because I know it's cold in the south right now. So these soups will help you warm up. And I will talk to you guys for the next video. Thank you so much for watching. And again, thanks Val for inviting me to do this collab. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Can't get enough of this. Being with you is like never ending sunshine. Feels like every